I'm pretty sure these Iowa brand tires are guaranteed to hold air. I mean, they're barely hardly even rotten. So I'm sure if I go get the air hose, we can be back in business. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and it's almost the end of the day, but we still have work to do. And namely, we need to fix the tire on this Super 88 because it is flat. Not this one, of course, but the one on the other side. So what you want to do is find a half-rotten board and then some other type of block, and in some fashion wedge it so that it goes up there. And then you have the other wheel off the ground, you see. It'll probably take several attempts and some cock-a-doodle-doos, but you will get it. So, I suppose our first order of business is going to be, let's see if we can take it off whilst it is still on the tractor. Because these rims are not very handy to work with. Unless you have a tire changer that has the clamps that go to the outside, you know, there's no way to bolt it in another tire changer because you don't have the middle. So we'll try to change it on here, and then I think we'll probably also be going into the wheel bearings and see what's what on there. Since this tractor I bought several years ago on an auction, on auction time actually, I have never done anything with it other than use it. And then just the stuff you've seen me do on videos. So I really have no knowledge of a lot of stuff on here yet, as far as what condition it's in. It all looks good, but I never tried anything out. I figured we'd just find it as we go. So here we go. Let's get this tire off of here if we can. Okay, so first thing, believe it or not, on a flat tire, let's let the air all the way out, because there's probably still some air in there, and we want to be able to compress everything easily. So we will take that out, and then as we pry or whatever, we should be able to get it. I may resort to my air tire changer here pretty quickly, but this is the way we always used to do it, was just hammer bars in and cry, swear, repeat until finally you had your tire off. And some of these are not the intended use for these tools. Like this one is the tool to take split rims off of a 1-ton or 2-ton Ford truck, so not its intended purpose here. I'm kind of over it already. That other thing's looking pretty good all the time. I'm really gonna have to move you. You're gonna have to just deal with whatever camera angle you get. This isn't Burger King, you can't have it your way, so. And you're gonna wanna put your foot right under the tire in case the tractor falls off the block. You're sure to become a cripple. Yeah, you wanna do that. Is it worth it? No, it's not. I paid for that other thing and I'm gonna use it. I could have kept going with this, but I got a lot of quit in me, so we're gonna go the easy way. We gotta wait for air now. We just don't have enough. You're supposed to use a ratchet with this, but guess what? It's mine, and I don't care what it says on the box. I'm going to use an impact every single time. If it breaks, I'll buy a new one. I like it so much. think we got it. Yes. Running out of hands here. Now, need to get the backside broke loose. Oh, come on. Oh, okay. Almost. Not quite. So close. Sure. Oh. Running out of steam is what I'm doing. There. There we go. And look at all that original paint inside the rim. Set you on the little buddy. Will that work? Yeah. Okay, come out of here, YouTube. YouTube. Okay. Now we are going to want to make a mark on this tire with some object like a screwdriver, just so we know about where the valve stem was. So when we find the hole, we can tell if there is a thorn in this tire, which I believe to be the case, because bush hogging with it, we would always get thorns in them and they'd go flat, and I'm sure that's what's happened with this one. Sometimes you can feel it, sometimes you can't. I know Grandpa already, to get around this problem, would put a he'd cut an old inner tube and lay it around the new inner tube and then inflate it, because sometimes you can't find the thorns. They're so small and you couldn't find it. Other times they would feel about like a nail sticking through. So just feeling around in here, I don't really feel anything that feels like it would have flattened a tire. So this may be another one of those mystery jobs, but we'll inflate the tube and see. Have a look though at the original green paint, as this was a green wheeled super. So there you can see paint has held up. Let's inflate and see what we get. Let's inflate it way too much. Put our cap on. Now, can we find it? No. Oh, maybe I just did. I did. Look at that. Teeny tiny little hole right there. So we will clean this up, put a patch on there, and we will look in the tire in this spot and see if we found it, or can find it rather. Now normally I would do this in a different spot. It was easier to work, But since I'm filming, this is as good a place as any to put the camera. So we're gonna make a nice large area around here. And we're gonna let this glue dry, and then we'll roll our patch on. I know it seems kind of odd to let the glue dry, but that's what we always did. It's somehow made to attract to whatever's on this patch. We need to let the air out of our tube though, so we can roll it flat. This is going to be hard to do with the camera, but we'll figure it out. Oh man, my patches got kind of messed up over the summer in the service truck. They're not very pretty. And I hope I got enough glue on there to do it. We will roll this now with our special rolly tool. Just all different directions here to try to work out the air. I hope my patches are good. Like I said, they must have got too hot inside of the service truck or something, because they're very, I don't know, the edges are kind of melty. Oh boy. Let's peel this off. It'll look prettier. I think there is enough of it stuck to it that it'll work. Now, before we put back in, we need to check the tire one more time. And you can see why I said mark where you want the valve stem. In the meantime, the tire has rotated into a different position. So we would not have an accurate representation of where our trouble would be. So if we lay this tube where that is, approximately in this area, there should be a problem. And sometimes the thorn will pull back out again and no big deal. Other times it's in there to stay. But I think that it probably was just one that went in and came back out again, because I don't feel anything. But those really tiny holes are very hard to find sometimes with the, you know, whatever's in there or your leak, because it takes a long time for them to go flat. So make sure our tire's clean. It knocked a little bit of the mud off, I think. Okay, little buddy tripod. Well, I don't know what I did with the cap for this deal, but it's somewhere. That's fine. Okay. Let's stuff our tube in. Let's get our valve stem through there. We'll screw on our little doodad here so that it doesn't come off or pull through, because that's very sad, especially when you got air in it, because then the only way to get it back out is to punch a hole in the tube and forget it. So you don't want your valve stem to pull inside. Now you have to put this back on and be very careful that you do not in fact pinch the tube. So let's do this. Let's start here and just be gentle. Watch where you're putting the tool in and don't go too much. Gentle. Let's do this. We're going to have you jump back there, buddy, in order to keep going here. We need more play. Get in there. There we go. Let's go back to this. There we go. Well, now let's air it up and see what a pathetic job we did. We need to put our valve stem in, but valve core in. But to seat it, this will work. That way it's more violent when it blows up off of there into your face. Okay, we are seated all the way around. Now we will let the air go out so that that tube can go find its happy place. Let's go get the air gauge. Oh, getting down and up does not get easier the longer you live. That doesn't fit. Okay, 25. And it says 68, but we're not going to put that much in. I'm on board with that 35 to 40. We don't need 68 PSI on a Super 88 front tire. I wonder if my air gauge is any good though. I just noticed that it does not go all the way in anymore. There. Ooh. Now I wonder if it's accurate. It says, what the heck? Well, I think our air gauge is toast because it does not return. There it says we got 40, but when you push it in, it only goes to 15, and then you can feel the innards moving. So apparently this is no good now. That's great. But it feels like we got air in it, so that's good enough. Let's have a gander at this, which isn't going to be something we want to see probably, because we'll probably find that a bearing is not good. I'm tempted to just tighten it up. It isn't really that bad. Tempted to just tighten it up, and then I'll put my usual grease fitting conversion into this plug hole and pump her full of grease and be done with it. That is probably what's going to happen. We don't have time to take off no wheels and check bearings. That's silly. We'll do this, and then we'll run the other one up on the block, and we'll tighten it up if it needs it, and we'll be done with it. If it falls off, it falls off. If it ruins this, whatever. I got more. I'm not too worried. Life's too short to care. Oh, look at that liquidy grease. Very liquidy. I think it'll be fine. It just needs to be tightened up. Okay. Sure, let's keep making a mess until it's totally miserable to work on. And while we're doing this, let's accidentally drive the screwdriver into that bearing. Ooh, I actually don't like the way that bearing looks when I look at it. So we're just not going to look at it too much. Let's just ignore it. It's been working. Why should we argue with something that's been going fine? We don't need to find problems. We don't need it. Go get a pliers. Oh sure, let's break that off. That's fine. Let's get that out of here. Sure. Now, let's tighten it up with the incorrect tool for the job. We're not going to get the correct tool, just kidding. Let's get this. What'd that do for it? That tightened it up good. I think one more to the next slot, and we'll have something. Oh yeah. We need more out of this though. There, yay. That really made her nice. Will you fit in there? You're not really the right size, but yeah, you will. Okay, that'll work. Here, let's do that. That way we knock out any remaining grease. And then when we forget to grease it, we'll be in really good shape. See, the later in the day it gets, the less we care about what type of job we do, especially when we're working on our own stuff. We just want to get it over with. We'll think about it in our sleep tonight, and then we'll redo it correctly tomorrow, because that's how it usually goes. See, that way you get metal shavings in the bearing too, and you want that. Okay, I think we're good now. I'll put this back on. And like I said, we will convert this to grease fitting, and then we will fill her up. Now I will have to look, but I don't think I have any more grease fittings on hand that are going to fit this size. And I think sometimes I've even had to get a bushing to do that. So unfortunately, that's probably going to be where we leave it for today, and then we'll forget and never ever grease it. Let's see, can we even get this loose? Maybe we don't have to worry about it. Maybe we can't make this happen. Let's try this inappropriate tool, and then we'll hit it with an Oz. There, it moved. Okay, so we know we got that loose. We can get that out of there, and hopefully when we come back tomorrow morning, this tire will still be aired up. I may roll it off the board just to get the effect of it being flat if it is. So we'll see, and I'll meet you back in the morning. Well, here we are the next day, and it is still holding air. I have to wait on my grease fittings though, because they aren't going to be here till tomorrow. So I'll have to put those in and grease it up, and I'll probably run this one up on the block so I can tighten up this bearing if it needs it, and grease it. And then I think we'll be back in business with the Super 88, which is a good thing because I like driving this tractor, and we just put that $600 radiator in it, so it'd be nice to use it. As always, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. That helps the channel out. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.